Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. We are pleased to welcome you all to the Arab Pensions Conference 2021. As the director of Fintech Robos, we're proud to host this event each year and see it to grow, not only in audience and worldwide reach, but in importance and relevance today. It's been around 50 years since social insurance and pension systems were first introduced into the various countries of the MENA region. So it's only fitting that this year we look back and ask the question, how should we design the MENA pension systems for the next 50 years? We will tackle these questions in 5 sessions over 2 days, covering different angles on the subject with an amazing lineup of expert speakers from various areas. To open the conference, I'm honored to introduce our keynote speakers. First, we welcome the patron of the Arab Pensions Conference 2021, His Excellency Lieutenant Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Health in Bahrain, and also Chairman of the Al Hikmah Retired Society. Second, we are also equally proud to welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ahmed Ma'id, Minister of Finance of the Arab Republic of Egypt. Thank you and enjoy the conference, and I now welcome His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ma'id, Minister of Finance of the Arab Republic of Egypt, distinguished guests and delegates, good morning. On behalf of the government of Bahrain and the Bahraini people, I welcome you all to the Arab Pension Conference 2021. I would like to thank the organizers of distinguished events, Fintech Robos, for this invitation to me to speak at this important event. I would like to thank them and their sponsors for championing this initiative at a time of key socio-economic changes. It is my great pleasure to inaugurate this important and growing conference in Bahrain and in the region. Let me first extend a warm welcome to all the participants from abroad and fellow Bahrainis here today. I do hope that next year conference goes back to normal physical attendance and our guests will make time to enjoy Bahrain and a diverse culture and experience the many unique sites and activities. Your industry has a special responsibility because people depend on you to help them save and plan for old age, and it is a responsibility that will only grow in the years ahead. People are living longer. They are having fewer children. Life expectancy is expected to continue increasing. The ratio of retired people to workers is set to double in the next 3 decades. Public finances are going to remain under pressure. All this has implication for our economics. I think this large attendance today is a testament to the importance of this subject and to the work you will be doing here. I am indeed very pleased to address this major gathering, which brings together pension experts and economics, as well as HR and finance executives, who all share a deep interest in developing better and more substantial pension solution for citizens and employees. The need to retire on a comfort and security is universal. In this respect, the goals of the GCC and MENA region are the same as the goals in other countries. For this reason, we need to learn from the success and even the failures of the others. In this region, we take pride in caring for the needs of our society. We strive to provide dignity in retirement for all our citizens. As Bahrain started seriously to address the issue of pension fund sustainability, the last few years, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa emphasized the need to attach absolute importance to the issue of pension through improving the situation of the funds and enhancing the services they deliver to retirees and affiliates in a manner that takes the public interest into consideration, ensures the sustainability of pension and social insurance funds, and preserve the rights of contributors and retirees. But we know that there are challenges that must be met. We need a society and as a region, we need as a society and as a region to build awareness of the need for retirement planning. I bid you well in your discussion and deliberation as you consider actions and options to help all countries in this region move forward to improve pension and to improve pension, enhance their sustainability, and contribute to economic growth and security. Deliberate well, share your knowledge, and seek answers. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum. Shukran. Thank you so much, Your Excellency Sheikh Mohammed. That was very honorable to us. Thank you so much. And may God bless you with an extended age and service to Bahrain and the Bahraini people, and also to the wider pension audiences. Now we welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ahmed Maid to share with us his perspective, his assessment on what do we expect in the coming years and decades in the Arab pension landscape. Welcome, Dr. Mohammed. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives us immense pleasure to welcome again His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ahmed Maid, the Minister of Finance of the Arab Republic of Egypt, who will share with us his own assessment and perspective of how pension landscape and social insurance and social protection landscape could evolve in the Arab world in the probably next 10 to 20 years. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to be with you for this important conference for the Arab Pension Conference 2021 under the theme of what should the MENA pension system look like for the next 50 years. I would like to welcome all of you at this important conference and to take this opportunity to thank all the organizer, leaders, and everyone who worked to make this conference success, and particularly Mr. Ibrahim for inviting me to be with you in such important event. It is my honor and pleasure to be with you today. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight the main features of the pension reform implemented in Egypt 2 years ago and the challenges we have faced and how we addressed these challenges and lessons for our pension reform to make this viable pension reform for the next 50 years in Egypt. We all believe that pension and social insurance programs are an integral part of all social protection systems for our citizens. The dual objectives are to prevent a sharp decline in the living standard of the citizen on retirement for any reason and protect them against poverty resulting from aging, disability, death, or anything of such risks. The critical role of pensions for protection, preventing, and promotion was reiterated and expanded in the Egyptian pension system strategy for reform, which took the main important three key objectives for the pension system: coverage, adequacy, and sustainability, which I believe these objectives and the unavoidable difficulties balance between them can best be achieved through a comprehensive reform. One of the main challenges was actually related to the management structure and the infrastructure of the system, which was in place since 1975, which needed an urgent reform and modernization. Also, it was due to the existence of a number of different laws and different benefits, contributions, treatment for each category of the insured segment of the population related to their types of jobs with different contribution rates, different benefit formula, and all of these complicated the system and increase the lack of transparency in dealing with insured and pensioners, contributors and beneficiaries of the system. The Egyptian system has roughly 14 million contributors and close to 11 million of beneficiaries. The reform responded to these challenges through merging all the fragmented different laws in only one unified system for all covered beneficiaries, contributors, without decreasing any of the current level, and by covering all the risks included in the previous system. The second main challenge was related to the existence of different laws that puts a great burden on the Treasury to finance the system, and the most of the benefits offered to the system were coming from the Treasury financing. A continuous complicated financial engagement between the system and the Treasury affected the system liquidity and puts for several years a very high burden on the Treasury ability to finance the benefits and the obligations of the system. The burden increased dramatically over the last years of the system before reform, and these increases affected the ability of the Treasury to finance other needs, social and infrastructure projects in Egypt. All were negatively affected by the need to finance the pension system. We also think that the complicated relationship between the system and the Treasury contributed to the increasing level of debt of the public debt of Egypt. However, with the reform, we addressed all the previous problems radically through a comprehensive reform, which this comprehensive reform took close to 5 years to finish all the studies needed, including the actuarial studies, in order to put a full solution for the complicated relationship between the Treasury and system, and also to ensure the financial sustainability of the system. This reform ended with determining an annual installment to be paid to the system, which started with 160.5 billion Egyptian pounds from the Treasury in the year 2019-2020, which will increase by 5.9% compounded annually for the coming 50 years, which will result in about 45 trillion pounds transferred from the Treasury to the pension system. This amount, this annual amount, will replace all the previous, current, and future liabilities and debt on the Treasury towards the pension system. Accordingly, the pension system has accumulated assets since this agreement of around £500 billion. Another important challenge, which was the low rate of return on the invested assets of the pension system, which was mainly due to the lack of liquidity and lack of expertise of the system. However, after the reform, we now have established a separate investment entity to invest the assets of the pension system using professional expertise and regular monitoring of its progress. It established a real estate investment fund with, from time to time, some real assets will also be transferred from the state to the fund. Since this reform, we agreed also that 75% of the annual installments transferred from the Treasury to the pension system will be invested on Treasury bills and bonds, at least 75% of this installment. In the current year, in the current financial year, 2021-2022, we are transferring 180 billion Egyptian pounds, and 75% of this amount has to be invested in bills, in Treasury bills and bonds at market rates with tax exemptions. The previous system also was suffering from, there was no any type of indexation, whether for pension payments increase or for any types of contribution. With the reform, we have introduced an annual pension payment increase indexed to inflation. And in that regard, the new system has stated that the annual pension increase move in line with inflation rate with a maximum of 15% in case that inflation will exceed the 15%. And the conclusion of this pension increase already is taken into the actuarial formula for the system. One of the challenges also was the high increase in life expectancy of the demographic profile of our pensioners, whether at the national level or at the pension system level. And also the changing in the demographic profile, which has also increased the financial instability of the previous system. With the reform, we responded to this challenge by stating that the normal retirement age will increase by 1 year, each 2 years, starting from year 2032, to reach the normal retirement age, to reach 65 by year 2040. And this, according to the actuarial calculation, will also contribute to addressing the longevity risk of the system and the financial sustainability of the system. Another important and a challenge was the low level of contributory salary because of an inherited legacy of the system that put the contributory salary ceiling at a very low. This resulted in a very low replacement rate which was around 20-25% of the final total salary of our insured people. And this has contributed significantly in reducing the efficiency of the system and also reducing the living standard of our pensioner. With the reform, we solved also this problem, which contributed to reducing the living standard, particularly of middle and high-class people. Now, the system replacement ratio is working towards 80%, and it will ensure gradual increase by removing the ceiling of the contributory period on a specific period of time in order not to increase the cost of our products and the cost on our employers. So we decided to remove the ceiling on the contributory salary, but over a specific period of time. And we have decided to put the ultimate is to cover the whole and the full wage and remove the idea of contributory salary ceiling. This is effectively gradually by the mechanism to shift the maximum contributory salary each year automatically until it moves in line with the actual total wages before retirement. And this reform established a mechanism for an optional, additional complementary pension for the high wage members based on defined contributions. And the system will have two pillars. One is defined and one additional one for defined benefit and one for higher income people for defined contributions. Finally, in general, it is worth mentioning that pension reform should, one, contribute to fiscal consolidation efforts, address equity issues, and support economic growth. The objectives of our public pension fund is to provide retirement income security within the context of a sustainable fiscal framework and transfer our pension funds to become one of the biggest long-term financial institutions and contributing to the economic growth of the country by allowing them to invest around 25% of their assets in the financial market with different classes of assets. The importance of providing income security for our citizens, reasonable, efficient, effective, to maintain the living standard of our people, and especially for low-income groups, suggests that pension reform must also be equitable. Furthermore, the design of public pensions has the potential to affect economic growth through its impact on labor markets and national savings. At the end, I would like to thank you again and to wish you a great and fruitful conference, and also great reform for all our countries for the sake of improving the living standard of our pensioner on retirement under any type of risks, and ensuring that our pension and social security systems are viable, sustainable, and efficient for the coming 50 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you so much for the very insightful analysis and the presentation of our brotherly country, Egypt's experience on social insurance and pension systems, and how all these reforms have contributed towards transforming pension and social insurance systems in Egypt, and hopefully launch Egypt to a stronger social protection platform in the future under your capable leadership, you and your brothers and colleagues in the Egyptian government cabinet. And as you promised long ago between me and you, hopefully next year we look forward to having the 6th Arab Pension Conference in Sharm el-Sheikh, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, so we'll receive you next year in Sharm el-Sheikh.
Inshallah. Shukran, Doctor. Shukran, Ma'alik.
Okay. I will be looking forward, and I will be happy to help on giving and supporting all what you need to ensure a very successful conference next year in Sharm el-Sheikh, inshallah.
Inshallah. Shukran, Ma'alik. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your very precious time. Allah يعطيك العمر